Not too long ago, a group of researchers decoded a 2,000-year-old tablet. And what they found was so disturbing, they refused to ever speak of it publicly again. At first glance, it's just a slab of ancient words, no symbols, no diagrams, no apparent danger. But within its verses lies a hidden structure that speaks in riddles only the mind can feel. For centuries, it was dismissed as mystical poetry. Then modern science caught up, and when it did, everything changed. Why would a piece of ancient philosophy make scientists, of all people, go silent? Before it terrified scientists, the Emerald Tablet haunted alchemists. Its origin is veiled in contradictions. Some say it was discovered in a secret chamber beneath the Great Pyramid. Others claim it descended from the stars, etched by hands not of this earth. But the first to record its words was a mysterious figure known only as Hermes Trismegistus, a being said to be part man, part god, and part something else entirely. He wasn't a name, he was a code, a fusion of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes, both said to be messengers between worlds. And yet, no one knows who truly wrote the tablet. It appears in scattered texts, Arabic manuscripts, medieval Latin scrolls, alchemical journals from the 12th century, and always in fragments, never complete. Almost as if its truth wasn't meant to be read in one place, as if it was planted, to be remembered only when humanity was ready to understand it. The moment you read the first line of the Emerald Tablet, something shifts. It reads like this: "That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, to accomplish the miracle of the one thing." It's not poetry. It's an encryption key. The tablet doesn't describe physical elements. It describes how reality mirrors itself across dimensions, above and below, spirit and matter, consciousness and form. To modern eyes, it reads like riddles, but to anyone who's studied quantum entanglement, morphic resonance, or the simulation hypothesis, it's a blueprint. Because what the tablet actually outlines is a model of the universe where every part contains the whole, a fractal system, a holographic design, a realm where time bends and cause doesn't always precede effect. It introduces the idea of the one thing, a singular force behind all dualities. Not a deity, but a frequency, a divine code that runs through all matter and all mind. And it doesn't stop there. It says all things have come from this one thing, through the meditation of the one mind. The word meditation isn't about sitting in silence. It implies intention, conscious shaping, a cosmic act of observation birthing form. This isn't mysticism. It aligns with what physicists now call the observer effect, the notion that reality changes based on whether or not it is being observed. Centuries before quantum physics, the Emerald Tablet was already whispering the secret. It suggests that the universe isn't just a machine, it's a mind, a dreaming mind. And what we call reality is shaped not by solid objects, but by unseen patterns of attention, vibration, and thought. If this is true, then the tablet isn't just describing the world, it's describing how to alter it. And that's where the fear begins. Because if words can ripple across dimensions, if thought can mold existence, then whoever decodes the tablet might not just understand the universe, they might begin to rewrite it. At first, the Emerald Tablet was dismissed as myth, but then the pattern hunters started paying attention. Isaac Newton, the same Newton who gave us the laws of motion, translated the emerald tablet himself, by hand, line by line. Why would a man of pure science devote himself to deciphering an ancient cryptic slab of esoteric wisdom? Because he saw something. Hidden within those lines was more than metaphor. It was method. And he wasn't alone. Niels Bohr, father of quantum mechanics, obsessed over hermetic principles, especially the idea of duality, of particles being both waves and points until observed. It echoed the tablet's core idea, that opposites are not separate, but two faces of the same force. Carl Jung, the psychologist, saw it as a map of the unconscious. He believed the tablet described not just the cosmos, but the inner world, where symbols become gateways and dreams can shape waking life. But things escalated in the 20th century. When scientists at Princeton's PEAR lab started experimenting with the effect of human intention on physical systems, random number generators, electrical fields, they began documenting something unsettling. People's focused thoughts appeared to skew probability itself. It was subtle, but real. And it mirrored exactly what the Emerald Tablet claimed, that the one mind shapes all. That human consciousness can bend reality at its edges. Soon after, studies in quantum cognition, zero-point energy, and even AI behavior began surfacing correlations no one could explain through classical physics. This wasn't mysticism anymore, it was data. Some of them even speculated that the one thing mentioned in the tablet could be what we now call the quantum field, a sea of pure potential where everything that can exist already exists in waveform, waiting for intention to collapse it into form. The deeper they went, the more the lines between magic and math began to blur. And then, the silence. Projects were quietly shelved, papers were redacted, scientists who once speculated publicly on mind-matter interaction retreated into safer subjects. Not because they disproved anything, but because they may have proven too much. Because if the Emerald Tablet is right, if consciousness really does alter the universe, then science itself must be rewritten. And that kind of truth, it terrifies. Now, what if we've misunderstood alchemy entirely? What if it was never about turning lead into gold, but about turning perception into power? You see, ancient alchemists weren't just cloaked figures toying with metals and fire in damp laboratories. They were decoding laws that shape the very scaffolding of experience, not just transmuting objects, but reshaping the field in which objects exist. Modern science manipulates matter by force, colliders, lasers, chemical chains. But the tablet hints at something far stranger, that the true philosopher's stone was never a stone at all. It was the mind, refined, focused, aligned. Let's go deeper. The tablet opens with a revelation. That which is below is like that which is above. To mystics, this suggested harmony between planes. But to those who looked closer, it revealed a far more radical truth, one hidden in plain sight. That the structure of the mind reflects the architecture of the universe. That inner thought obeys the same laws as outer form. Today, neuroscience is catching up. We now know that when you imagine something vividly enough, your brain fires as though it's remembering. The nervous system reacts to deep visualization as if the event were real. That's not just strange, that's a clue. Now factor in the placebo effect. Belief alone can trigger real biological healing. Just as powerfully, the nocebo effect, where negative belief induces illness, proves the opposite. These aren't anomalies, these are confirmations. That thought rewires matter. This isn't mystical fluff, it's measurable. It's been repeated in controlled conditions, and it points to one inescapable conclusion: that alchemy of the mind is not a metaphor, it's mechanics. And yet, it gets even stranger. The adepts who meditated on the tablet believed it held more than abstract wisdom. They believed it was a process, a formula for transformation, not to ascend into a distant heaven, but to rise into a higher frequency of being here and now. They worked through a sequence of 7 operations, not just in crucibles, but in consciousness. They burned away ego through crisis. They dissolved beliefs that no longer served. They separated illusion from essence. They rejoined the fractured pieces of their psyche. They opened themselves to divine inspiration. They distilled their realizations, refining truth from the noise. And finally, they solidified a new version of themselves. Grounded, whole, transformed. Long before modern psychology was even born, these operations mapped a journey of inner rebirth. A slow alchemical fire that didn't just purify metals, it purified identity. Now here's where it starts to unravel modern thought. Quantum physics tells us the observer shapes the observed. Holographic theory suggests the whole is contained in every part. There is no true here or there, only mirrored layers of a unified field. And when the tablet whispers, its force is entire if it be converted into earth, it doesn't mean dirt or stone. It means embodiment. That knowledge, if truly lived, felt, breathed, becomes power. Not stored in books, not locked in temples, but radiating through every cell of the one who understands. This was never about gold. It was about the transformation of scattered, reactive minds into focused, sovereign will. Not about controlling nature, about aligning with it, becoming one with the current beneath the visible. And that is what truly threatens the modern worldview. Because this teaching removes the gatekeepers, the priests, the machines, the dogmas, and puts the power, silently, terrifyingly, in the hands of every thinking being. What if this is what secret societies swore oaths to guard? Not rituals, not potions, but the blueprint of inner transfiguration. Because if thought can shape form, if belief can bend biology, then we are not simply observers of this universe. We are active participants in its construction, and if the Emerald Tablet truly encodes that power. So, what happens when we finally accept the truth buried in the Emerald Tablet? When you understand the tablet, you understand that everything is connected. Every thought, every emotion, every action ripples through the fabric of the universe. The laws of cause and effect stretch beyond the material realm. They enter the world of mind, of perception, of intention. And this is what terrified the scientists and secret societies who decoded it. Because when you realize you hold the power to change your reality, to shape the course of events with the purity of your thoughts and intentions, the world you once knew starts to dissolve. We are not passive observers in the grand play of the universe. We are its co-authors. The Emerald Tablet tells us that the true transmutation, the true alchemy, is an awakened state of consciousness. The Emerald Tablet is no mere relic. It's a doorway. And those who have the courage to walk through it will find themselves standing on the threshold of a new world. One where they don't just witness miracles, but become the architects of them. And that is the secret that terrified them. Because once the mind awakens to its true power, it's no longer bound by the laws of the old world. It bends them, it remakes them. The transmutation has already begun. It begins with you. If you are ready for your transformation, you must know something. There's a secret method that Nikola Tesla himself used to enter a state of genius. Click the next video on your screen to uncover the secrets of this method and take your mind to the next level. Thank you for watching.